last video we discussed about first generation computer. Let's go to next generation. That generation is second generation transistor generation. Second generation computer between 1956 to 1963. In 1955, Juliet Edgar proposed the concept of the field effect transistor. The field effect transistor is a type of transistor that controls the flow of current in a semiconductor by using an electric field. The point contact transistor was invented in 1947 by American physicists John Barton and Walter Brattain while working at Bell Lab under the William Shockley. For their achievement, the three was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1956. The use of transistor enabled computer to perform more powerful and quickly. It reduced size and cost as well as heat generated by vacuum tube. The second generation also saw the introduction of the Central Processing Unit (CPU), memory, programming language and input-output units. The programming language started changing from the high level to programming languages, which simplify programming for programmers. Fortran in 1956, Algo in 1958, and COBOL were programming language were used during this time period. First commercialized full transistor calculator, IBM 608 transistor calculator. Let's we look at main characteristic of second generation computer. Main electronic component was transistor, memory, magnetic core and magnetic tape, magnetic disk. Programming language, assembly language. Low power consumption and generate the lesser heat and smaller size compare with the first generation computer. Improvement of speed and reliability compare with the first generation computer and input-output device, punch card and magnetic tape. Example for this computer, IBM 1401, IBM 7090 and 7094, UNIVAC 1107 are the examples for this generation computers. Now we look at the advantage of the second generation computer. They are smaller in size than the first generation. It's more reliable. It consumption lesser energy and produce lesser heat. The second generation speed is the faster than the first generations. Second generation computer have the increased accuracy and portability. This generation also have a disadvantage. Produce lesser heat but still require the cooling system. They require the frequently maintenance, and commercial production of second generation is very difficult. They are only used for the specific purpose. They use punch card also, that the another disadvantage. We can compare with the first generation and second generation. First generation computer use vacuum tube. Second generation computer use transistor. The size of the first generation computer is huge. The size of the second generation computer is smaller. It use first generation computer use more power and the more heat. Second generation computer use lesser power and produce lesser heat. Second generation computers speed was very slow, but second generation computer speed more than the first generation computers. First generation computer use machine language. Second generation computer use assembly language. The first generation computer is the main memory in the form of magnetic drum. In the second generation computer, the main memory is in the form of RAM and ROM. First generation computer, the main memory is the form of magnetic drum. Second generation computer in the main memory is in the form of RAM and ROM. Those are the difference between first generation computer and the second generation computer. Next generation is third generation. Now we can go to the third generation computer.